posibilidad, ng tagumpay o kabiguan, ng ligaya o lungkot. Kaya marapat lamang na tanggapin si Jesus bilang tagapagligtas at Panginoon. At matapos yun ay panariwain ang katapatan at paglapit sa Kanya bawat araw o day by day. Ang day by day ay naglalayong umalalay sa pang-araw-araw na pamumuhay. Narito po si Kuya Ed Lapis sa mensaheng pinamagatang The Love of Jesus Touches.
Indeed, the Lord God is holy, banal, malinis. But the amazing thing about this holy God is that this God can be touched. And this God also touches. Posible na maraming mga matagal ng Kristiyanong hindi pa talaga kilala si Jesus. Dahil kung minsan, hindi naman laging si Jesus ang napag-aaralan at hindi na pagtutuunan ng pansin. Lalo't pamisa-misa lang naman nag-aaral, napakapili at konti lang ang pwedeng mapag-aralan. It is possible that Jesus is the least understood, appreciated, and obeyed person in the Bible, even among church people. It is very important to understand Jesus, very especially the love of Jesus. At ang magandang pag-aaral natin ngayon, the love of Jesus touches. The love of Jesus touches, but not everybody gets touched. Not everybody knows how to be touched, or many people are uncomfortable being touched by Jesus' love. But the love of Jesus is love in action. According to the Gospels, when Jesus was born, but Jesus was born for a purpose. And this is the main theme of the birth of Jesus. Jesus was born to love and to make people know, experience the touch of God in heaven through Jesus' love. Dear God, we thank you that you are a touching God, and we like to be touched by you. Forgive us our sins, cleanse us, clarify our thoughts, enable us to understand a little bit more of your Son, Jesus. Teach us to see your divinity, your deity in Him, so that through Him we may experience you, O Father. Lead us, teach us. In the name of Jesus, your Son, we pray with thanksgiving. Amen. Jewish life was governed by the laws and the prophets. Pag sinabing laws, yung mga books containing all the laws collected from their leaders, their patriarchs, and developed even by their priests. So, traditionally, the Israelites would have 10 commandments to obey and 613 more minor commandments called mitzvahs, governing nearly every aspect of daily life. Ano ang attitude ni Jesus sa law, sa prophets? Jesus reaffirms the law. That should be very firmly established. Hindi nilabanan, kundi lalong pinairal ni Jesus ang kautusan. Matthew 5:17-18, don't suppose that I came to do away with the law and the prophets. I did not come to do away with them, but to give them their full meaning. Heaven and earth may disappear, but I promise you that not even a period or comma will ever disappear from the law. Everything written in it must happen. So there was this question about, was Jesus pro or anti-law? So Jesus had to clarify that He came to fulfill the law, except that He came to give the law their full meaning. Ibig sabihin, hindi nagagagap ng mga tao yung kabuuan at kahulugan ng mga batas, mga kautusan. May kulang. Kaya dapat bigyan ni Lord ng kabuuan na kahulugan nito. Of course, you know that full is the opposite of empty or half full. So we can surmise that per Jesus' standards, the understanding of the people of God's law was either empty or half full. And He came to give it full meaning. Naturally, there will be tension in giving it full meaning, because a full meaning would have differences with a half meaning or an empty meaning. Kaya kailangan ng pangunawa at kailangan ng bukas na isip para maunawaan kung ano ang kahulugan ng sinasabi ni Lord na binibigyan niya ng buong kahulugan ang kautusan. But Jesus redefines, reinterprets, and reapplies all religious laws and teachings. So yung palang ibig sabihin niya ng bibigyan niya ng full meaning, bibigyan niya ng redefinition, reinterpretation, and reapplication. In other words, ang pagkaunawa at ang pag-a-apply ng mga tao nung araw sa mga kautusan ay kailangang iayos, kailangang i-adjust, kailangang i-update. Matthew 22:35-40. One of them was an expert of the Jewish law, so he tried to test Jesus by asking, "Teacher, what is the most important commandment in the law?" Jesus answered, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind. This is the first and most important commandment. The second is most important commandment is like this one, and it is love others as much as you love yourself. All the law of Moses and the book of the prophets are based on these two commandments." So sa dinami-rami pala ng commandments, 10 na great commandments and 630 misbots, sabi ni Lord, actually, dalawa lang ang utos. Una, pinakamahalaga, mahalin mo ang Diyos. Pangalawa, at susunod na mahalaga, mahalin mo ang kapwa tulad ng pagmamahal mo sa iyong sarili. Hindi naman niya iniwan yung mahalin mo ang sarili mo, kaya lang, huwag mo lang iwan yung iba. Mahalin mo rin tulad ng pagmamahal sa iyong sarili. At pag sinuri po natin yung tinatawag na 10 commandments, talagang yung mga unang commandments doon ay tungkol sa ating relasyon sa Diyos, at yung mga second part na puro relasyon natin sa kapwa-tao. Yun talaga yung kahulugan ng law. Huwag magpalito sa mga busisi, sa mga maliliit na bagay. Do not be confused with the tiny little bits of daily laws, and you will see the big picture that is really about loving God and loving fellow men as we love ourselves. This is what the law and the prophets are all about. But there was a problem that up to now is a problem. The law and the prophets, misunderstood, misapplied, could actually make people unloving. Kaya nga yung mga unloving people, especially religious people who are unloving, are actually propelled and energized by a verse or two. And they say, because of this verse, I have the license or the duty to be unkind to you because I have to implement this verse. So by Jesus' definition, an unkind and an unloving implementation of the law is breaking the spirit of the law, though it might seem to obey the letter of the law. So how does Jesus actualize and realize and demonstrate this love from, before, and above the law? Loving pala yung law pag tama ang pagkakaintindi, at loving pala pagka tama ang application. Matthew 8:1-4. As Jesus came down the mountain, he was followed by large crowds. Suddenly, a man with leprosy came and knelt in front of Jesus. He said, "Lord, you have the power to make me well, if only you wanted to." Jesus put his hand on the man and said, "I want to. Now you are well." At once the man's leprosy disappeared. Jesus told him, "Don't tell anyone about this, but go and show the priest that you are well. Then take a gift to the temple, just as Moses commanded, and everyone will know that you have been healed." Maraming tao ang sumusunod kay Jesus dahil nagiging sobrang nga siyang sikat. Gumagaling ang mga tao, nakakakain ng spiritual food, nararamdaman nila ang presensya ng Diyos sa langit sa pamamagitan ni Jesus. So napakarami mga tao, then a leper breaks the law and approaches Jesus. Bawal sa isang may ketong na makihalubilo sa mga walang ketong. Lalong-lalong bawal lumapit. Mathigpit ang pinag-uutos sa mga batas ng Israel na pagka ikay may ketong, malayo ka palang isinisigaw mo na sa mga tao, unclean, unclean, para lumayo sila sa iyo. At pag lumapit ka, pwede ka nilang batuhin para ka lumayo. Hindi pwede magsalita ang may ketong na hindi niya tatakpan ang kanyang ilong at bibig para hindi niya mahingahan o maihawa o marumihan ng kanyang kapwa. Malungkot ang buhay ng mga may ketong noon. Kasi iwinawalay ka sa iyong pamilya, sa komunidad. Itinitira kayo sa mga kuweba, sa mga maliliit na mga lugar, na sama-sama yung mga may ketong doon, nag-aantay na lang mamatay. Leviticus 13:4, but if the affected area is white and only skin deep, and if the hair in it hasn't turned white, the priest will order you to stay away from everyone else for 7 days. So pag hindi naman talaga malala o hindi pa talagang talamak na leprosy, 7 days ka hihiwalay, isolation. Leviticus 13:46, as long as you have the disease, you are unclean and must live alone outside the camp. Malinaw. Numbers 5:2, command the Israelites to send away from the camp anyone who has a defiling skin disease or a discharge of any kind, and who is ceremonially unclean because of a dead body. Ang mga Israelites, napakaraming phobia. Takot na takot sila magkasakit. Takot na takot silang mahawa sa may sakit. Takot na takot sila sa dugo. Marami silang mga kinakatakutan, not because they were holy or all-knowing, but precisely, like everyone else in ancient times, they had their own brands of ignorance as well. Even they were priests. Hindi pa naman nila naiintindihan yung mga clinical truths about disease and its transmission. Pati hari nila, pag nagkaketong, etsapuera sa lipunan. 2 Chronicles 26:21, King Uzziah had leprosy until the day he died. He lived in a separate house, leprous and banned from the temple of the Lord. Yun ang background nung lalaking biglang lumapit kay Jesus at sinabing may ketong siya at kung guibigin daw ni Jesus, siya'y kayang pagalingin. Bakit siya lumapit? Because old laws never healed him. Old laws never gave him comfort, so had to break away from the shadow of these laws that never worked in his behalf. And the leper declares solid faith in Jesus. He kneels before Jesus and he said, Lord, you have the power to make me well if only you wanted to. Amazingly, Jesus puts his hand on the man and said, I want to, now you are well. O dalawa na sila ngayong lawbreaker. Kung bawal lumapit ang may ketong sa kapwa-taong hindi ketongin, bawal namang hipuin ng walang ketong yung may ketong. So technically, Jesus here breaks the law. The law that he says he came to fulfill. The law that he would give full meaning to. From a simple approach, it looks like this is contradictory. Mukhang magkasalungat. Sabi niya, bubuuin niya ang pagsunod sa batas, pero at the same time, sa biglang tingin, parang nilalabag niya. But he wants to heal the man. So ang ibig sabihin pala ng buong kahulugan tungkol ng mga batas sa mga may leprosy ay para ang tao ay mapabuti, gumaling, huwag nang dumami ang may sakit. Kaya may mga ganun. Pero ngayon, meron siyang application na gagawin. To love, Jesus steps out of and beyond the limits of religious law. Dahil mas mataas sa kanya yung love. Sabi niya, ang pinakamahalagang commandment, love God and love your fellow men. So ngayon, mamahalin niya, iibigin niya ang taong ito at the expense of technically setting aside legalism. Jesus did not use or obey religious law to reject, to diminish, and to hurt people because of their health or illness. Kung naging ordinary lang siguro na Bible-based believers si Jesus, sasabihin niya, according to this verse, you should not approach me and I should not touch you, get away. Pero kabaliktaran, hindi ginamit ng Panginoong Jesus yung mga batas nila para paalisin, tanggihan, at biguin ng lalaking ito, isinaisang tabi ni Jesus sa mga batas para siya maging maibigin. And this is what he means by he is giving full meaning to the law, a meaning that is based on love. A method that is loving. And followers of Jesus are not to reject, diminish, or hurt people because those people are seen to break religious and ceremonial law in search of comfort or healing or life. Pag meron tayong kapwa na naghahanap ng buhay, ginhawa, kagalingan, at sa tingin natin ay meron na silang mga naiisang tabing, mga legalistang, mga tradisyon, kaugalian at mga relihiyosong batas, dapat sundin ang halimbawa ni Jesus. Ibigin muna ang taong ito, huwag pagkaitan dahil sa isang verse. Unahin siya, the well-being, the healing of a human being above religious legalism. Siyempre, that was very revolutionary, unheard of. It would shock the priests that had always promoted a literal reading, interpretation, and application of all the 613 mitzvots and the 10 commandments. That's why they would not hesitate to kill somebody by stoning. They would not hesitate to disown their own brothers dahil may verse. And Jesus tells them, I came to fulfill all the law, and the fulfillment is this. Base it on love, flavor it with love, empower it with love, above all. We notice here that Jesus does not place religious law above people's healing and wellness and comfort. Neither above people's dignity or feelings. Lagi natin sinasabi, Jesus was fully human. And Jesus is showing us what it means to be fully human. And that is to be humane. Maging makatao, maibigin. Inuuna ang kapakanan, damdamin, ikagbubuti ng kapwa-tao kesa sa mga legalismo at kung ano-anong mga kaburirian at mga detalye na nagpapahirap lang sa atin na umibig. In fact, nagtuturo pa sa ating maging magagalitin. Kakaiba talaga, revolusyonaryo. Kaya sabi ko, kilala ba talaga natin si Jesus? O nodding acquaintance lamang? Naunawa na ba natin what it means to love as Jesus loved? Jesus wants people well. So the followers of Jesus should also not make others unwell. Hindi yung dahil tayo ay Kristiyano, lalo pa nating binibigyan ng sama ng loob, lalo pa nating pinapahirap ang buhay ng ating kapwa. Samantalang ang goal ni Jesus ay pagaanin ang buhay ng tao. We must appreciate Jesus' full humanity because in His full humanity do we find an entry point into His divinity and into the divinity of the Father. Kailangan maging fully human ka bago ka gumraduate at maging spiritual. Hindi ka pwedeng maging totoong spiritual kung hindi ka muna nagiging fully human. To go up to spiritual levels, one must first go through the motions of being fully human and humane. Then you transcend your humanness to go to a higher degree of understanding, of spirituality. But you cannot make a shortcut, bypass your humanity and aspire to be spiritual. Ipinakita ng Panginoong Jesus ang daan patungo sa Ama sa langit ay yung pagiging taong tao. Makatao, nakikipagkapwa tao. And Jesus gave a new command. Love, accept, receive people. Bakit kaya ang utos ng Panginoon ay love, accept, receive people as part of His agenda to give a full meaning to the law? Because in the religious experience of Israel, their adherence to the law had made them unloving. The opposite. Strict to others. Mahirap kasama. Magagalitin, mapanghusga. When will people really understand what Jesus means by I give full meaning to the law? And its meaning is to love. That any reading or application of the law that makes you unloving is a wrong reading and a wrong application. John 13:34, I am giving you a new command, Jesus says, you must love each other, just as I have loved you. But if you love each other, everyone will know that you are my disciples. So how will people know that people are followers of Jesus? If they love. So it's not going to be some high-sounding doctrine that will give you distinctive or distinctives or distinction. It will not be the way you dress, the way you speak, or the Bible version that you read that will make people know that you are a follower of Jesus. It is your love. Love that bends to touch a leper. And Paul echoes this. Paul had a very clear understanding of the ministry of Jesus. That's why in 1 Corinthians 13, 1-13, he says that the greatest of all is love. More than sign gifts, like speaking in tongues that was highly valued in some churches during his time. Love is more than prophecy or gift of teaching, as it is valued in other churches above all else. To Paul, love is more than knowledge or sacrifice. It is more than understanding of God, which is really dim according to him. He says we don't really understand God. We don't know God. Now we only see as in a mirror dimly. Our knowledge is limited. Our knowledge is imperfect. Our prophecy is imperfect. So how can you boast about knowledge? And more than faith, which really strengthens people, and more than hope, sabi ni Paul, the greatest of this is love. Don't sacrifice love in prophesying or in speaking in tongues or in trying to promote knowledge or in sacrificing yourself or others. Love is the greatest. And Peter also understands and obeys this, as recorded in Acts 10, 9-35, when he was asked by the divine to eat unclean food, and then the result was he visited Cornelius, a Gentile. He bent over, he stooped to love. Because now it was clear that the people of God should love Gentiles as well. So Christian, stop being just an audience and a witness. Stop being just a talking machine about Jesus. Do not just experience Jesus. Marami mga ganyan eh. Experience Jesus. Experience the love of Jesus. Feel Jesus. Do not just get touched by Jesus, which many people think to be the ultimate experience, but experience the Jesus experience. Huwag mo lang maranasan si Jesus. Maranasan mo ang naranasan ni Jesus dapat. Don't just feel Jesus, but feel what Jesus feels. In other words, Christian, do a Jesus. Be a little Christ. Touch your leper. Do not just enjoy being touched by Jesus because of your leprosy, but you do a Jesus and touch the leper assigned to you. Who could be your leper? If you get touched by Jesus, you will experience what everybody else experienced during his time, but you will experience the Jesus experience only when you do what Jesus did. Not to just get touched, but to be the one to touch. Someone who would heal with your touch, with your attention, with your words, with your love. Gumraduate na tayo doon sa nararamdaman mo ang pag-ibig ni Jesus. Dapat magkaroon na tayo ng karanasang nararamdaman mo kung paano umibig tulad ni Jesus. Hindi na lang yung nararamdaman mo ang pagpapagaling ni Jesus, kundi maramdaman mo kung paano ang magpagaling dahil ikaw man ay may kapangyarihang ibinigay ni Jesus. Huwag mo lang maramdaman kung paano ka inunawa at tinanggap ni Jesus. Para makumpleto ang iyong spiritual experience, dapat mo nang maranasang mangunawa at tumanggap. Hindi lang yung tuwang-tuwa ka dahil sinasagot ni Lord ang iyong mga dalangin, kundi maramdaman mong ikaw ang sagot sa dalangin ng maraming tao. Hindi lang yung nag-enjoy kang kumakain ng mga pagkain ibinibigay ni Jesus, kundi ngayon ikaw ay nagpapakain tulad ng pagpapakain ni Jesus. Dito pa lang tayo makakapagsabing, kilala ko si Jesus. Pag nararamdaman na natin yung nararamdaman niya bilang healer, giver, bilang teacher, bilang somebody who loves others. It is one thing to receive Jesus as love, and it is another to love like Jesus, to be a channel of His love to others. And we must. graduate to that level of our spiritual maturity. That we stop just being recipients and we now become the channels or the givers. Like Jesus, allow others to set some religious laws aside to find comfort and rest. You don't have to be heaven's policeman or policewoman, implementer of the divine will on everybody else's private life. Be the Jesus that we know from the Gospels. Set some religious laws aside, if you must, to give comfort and rest. And this could be the unsettling part of being like Jesus. When you come face to face with a verse and say, I have to set it aside in order to be loving. But because Jesus says love is the greatest, love God above all, and then love your fellow man like you love yourself. This is the law and the prophets. We have to move to that level of consciousness when we don't find dissonance, when we don't find discomfort, when we set aside legalism to love. And when we comfortably love in spite of setting aside legalism, then you are graduating to another level of Christian maturity. Matthew 11:28 to 29. If you are tired from carrying heavy burdens, come to me and I'll give you rest. That's what Jesus promised, rest. Take the yoke I give you, put it on your shoulders, and learn from me. I am gentle and humble, and you will find rest. So a Christian ministry, Christian service, Christian work must end in people having and receiving rest. Not agitation, not vexation, not judgment, not ill feelings, not discomfort, but rest. Because the presence of Jesus is restful. And there is rest only when you are like Jesus, when you are not judgmental, when you are not self-righteous, and when you are even willing to set aside some legalism to accommodate somebody's difficulty so that somebody could find rest. No wonder everybody wanted to follow Jesus except the religious people whose authority was being eroded by His doctrine of love. Siyempre, nababawasan ng importansya yung mga priests, nakihigpit, at nandun sila precisely to be implementers of the will of heaven in everybody's personal lives. Mababawasan sila ng interest kung loving ang mga tao kasi hindi na sila laging makakapagusga, hindi na laging mapapahalagahan ang kanilang mga opinion. But to follow Jesus, you have to get out of and beyond your comfort zone. It's comfortable to take the easy and the safe way. It is comfortable to just follow the tide and the flow, even if you have to be unkind by doing so. It gives you less headache, less opposition. It might even give you a lot of acceptance from the establishment. But that's not what Jesus did. Kumbaga, ang Panginoon, bumakas siya doon sa mga api, sa mga kawawa, sa mga lagi nalang napapagalitan, laging inuhusgahan. Yun ang mga ipinagtanggol niya. Doon siya pumunta. Sabi niya, I have come to seek and save the lost. Malinaw sa kanya ang kanyang misyon. Palalayain niya ang mga tao sa sobrang pananakal ng kutakot-takot na mga religious laws. Sabi niya, I'm going to give you what the laws really mean. And its meaning is to love and give comfort. That you have to internalize. Bend, reach out, to touch. So touch your unclean leper. O mga mananampalataya, sino ino-consider nyo unclean sa buhay nyo? That is your unclean leper. Touch your unclean leper if you like to experience the Jesus experience. Touch your suffering leper that some religious law forbids you to touch. Like Jesus, set aside some legalism if you must. Because you cannot experience the Jesus experience if you remain selfishly and safely well within the religious boxes of the Pharisees. Kailangan kang lumabas sa mga kahon na pinagkukulungan sa atin ng mga modern day Pharisees. You know that a believer is a follower. So those who will believe in Jesus should follow what Jesus does. Should go where Jesus goes. And should touch what Jesus touches. John 13:35, if you love each other, everyone will know that you are my disciple. So love is the greatest doctrine. Loving is the greatest act of faith. Galatians 2:20, Christ lives in me, and I now live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave His life for me. So what does it mean to say, Christ lives in me? So His Spirit lives in me, His values live in me, and my body is dedicated to do what He would do if this body was His. And if Christ lives in me, then in fact, this body is really His. What does it mean to live by faith? Akala ng iba, to live by faith is to be blind obedience, or to live by faith is having no plans at all. Sabi niya, by faith na lang. No. But to live by faith in what? By faith in what Jesus taught and said and modeled and exemplified. So, you live by faith in Jesus. Faith in His being correct. Faith in His love. Faith in His touch. The law of Jesus is enough reason to follow Him. And the love of Jesus is enough reason to live by faith in Him. Kailangan tayong mayugyug, mga kapatid, at unawain at ipamuhay ang pag-ibig ni Jesus. Kasi pag tiningnan mo ang napakarami mga nagsasabi mga Kristiyano, wala yung ganong pag-ibig eh. Ang inaatupag, manghusga, mamintas, magalit, itaas ang sarili, purihin ang sarili, at ipagdikdikan yung mga verses sa mga tao kahit na yung mga tao ay nagdurusa, naghihirap. Sabi ni Lord, I'm giving you the full meaning, and its meaning must never be detached from love. So do not just experience the love of Jesus, experience loving like Jesus does. Do not just receive Jesus' love, give love like Jesus gives. Do not just get accepted by Jesus, accept others like Jesus does. Because if you haven't experienced what Jesus experiences, you probably have not really seen and tasted the goodness of God. Psalm 34:8, taste and see that the Lord is good. Nakikita, natitikman, nararanasan, and the Lord is good through Jesus. That's why He is the author, the perfecter of our faith. Yung kanyang gawi, yung kanyang itinuro, yung kanyang ginawa, ang pinakamataas na dapat tularan. Step out of and beyond the limits of religious law to love like Jesus does. Do not place religious law above people's healing or wellness or comfort or dignity. Huwag mang pahiya, manira ng loob, manakit ng loob dahil lang sa mga legalismo. To be fully human and humane, let the full humanity of Jesus live in you. Galatians 2:20, I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. The life I now live in the body, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave Himself for me. So let the Lord and His love work through you. 1 John 2:6, whoever claims to live in Him must live as Jesus did. So stop just believing in Jesus. Be like Jesus. Be Christ-like. And in this particular example, touch your leper. Heal someone with your touch. There is a leper probably waiting for your touch. Maybe somebody who needs your forgiveness. Somebody who needs your attention. Somebody who needs your affirmation. Na pag pinansin mo lang, gagaling na, sisigla na, sasaya na. Do a Jesus, touch your leper. Pag kamay ni Jesus, hayaan nating mahipo tayo. At tayo man, huwag mangimi, Huwag maging masimi na humipo ng mga tao who we think might be beneath our standards. We have our own lepers. But if you would experience the Jesus experience, you would touch your leper. Then you will know, you will experience what Jesus experiences, at may bubukas sa ating isip, sa ating puso, sa ating pagkatao, at mauunawa natin ang hiwaga ng Ama sa Langit that is revealed through Jesus Christ. Ama, sa patuloy namin pag-aaral ng mga salita sa Biblia, turuan mo kaming bigyan ng diin, halaga, yung mga itinuro at ginawa ng Panginoong Hesus. Turuan mo kami kung paano kami tutulad sa Kanya, na inuuna ang kapakanan, kabutihan ng kapwa. Turuan mo kami, Lord, huwag lang tumanggap, kundi maging tagabigay o daluyan ng mga pagpapala tungo sa ibang tao. To understand and operationalize through Him. Anong ibig sabihin na maging Kristiyano? Na nananalig kay Jesus. Paano tayo magiging tulad niya? Hindi lang tagatanggap, kundi tagabigay din. Patnubayan niyo po kami, Panginoon, patibayin ang aming pananalig at palinawin kung paano kami susunod sa halimbawa ni Jesus.
Ang katatapos pong mensahe ni Kuya Ed Lapiz ay pinamagatang The Love of Jesus Touches.
O Diyos, kayo'y aming pupurihin.
Napakarami pong kayamanan ng ating bayan at kuminsan hindi naman karapat-dapat na magkaroon tayo ng napakaliit na pagtingin sa ating sarili. Nangyayari lang yon kung hindi natin kilala ang ating nakaraan, hindi natin kilala ang mga kayamanan ng ating bayan na nagpapaganda sa atin pong lahi. Kaya naman dapat natin kilalanin ang nakaraan, ang kasaysayan, at ang mayayamang mga pamana sa atin ng ating mga ninuno. Ang mga hiyas po ng ating lahi, ang mga kayamanan ng ating bayan ay binubuo ng maraming bagay. At isa na rito ang musika. Ang musika ay salita daw ng kaluluwa. Ang musika ay napakabisang paraan upang ipahayag ang ating damdamin, ang ating mga pangarap at ang ating mga pagpapahalaga. Sa Pilipinas po, ang musika ay paraan ng pagpapahayag ng mga espiritual na bagay. Ang mga Pilipino kapag gumagawa ng musika kadalasan ay upang sumamba. Kaya tayong mga Pilipinong Kristiyano ay dapat lamang na mag-aral ng mga tugtog ng ating bayan at gamitin naman natin ito sa pagsamba sa Panginoong Hesus. Dapat nang bawiin ang musika ng Pilipinas mula sa kung ano-anong mga paggamit na hindi ayon sa kalooban ng Panginoon. At ito naman ay dapat ialay sa paanan ni Jesus upang lalong makadagdag sa marami, makulay at magagandang paraan ng pagpapahayag natin ng ating pananampalataya. Ang musika ng bayan, hiyas ng lahi, hiyas ng bayan. Narito at ating pakinggan ang Mambayo, mga tunog ng pagbabayo ng palay na may kasamang mga awit mula sa mga kalinga. Ang mambabayo ay isang karaniwang gawain ng mga kalinga at ito ay pagbabayo ng palay. Gayunpaman, ito isinasagawa sa sari-saring estilo at pamamaraan ayon sa idinaraos na okasyon, halimbawa ay kasal o kaya ay may mga kinalaman na seremonya sa mga patay o mga libing. Ang mambayo ay sinasaliwan ng awit tulad ng naririnig natin. Ang sinasaliwan ng awit na pagbabayo ng palay ay ginagampanan ng 8 kababaihan at sinasagot naman ng mga kalalakihan. Paulit-paulit at mauulit na maririnig ang ritmikal na pag-awit ng mga silitang ima, isa o insa. Kasabay nito ang kanilang pagbabayo. Anong ibig sabihin ng ganitong uri ng pagbabayo? Pagbabayo ng palay na hindi lamang ang dahilan o ang gustong mangyari ay makapagbayo ng palay, ito rin ay isang bigkis panlipunan. Sa pagbabayo, makikita ang tulungan, pakiramdaman, pagsasaya. At makikita natin ang pagiging dakilang mga musikero ng mga Pilipino na maging sa pagbabayo ng palay, gumagamit sila ng musika, hindi lang upang sila ay malibang at pagaanin ang trabaho, kundi patuloy na ipahayag ang kanilang nadarama. Sa mga Katagalugan at sa mga nasa kapatagan ng Luzon, uso rin ang bayuhan, lalo ang pipigan. At kadalasan, yung halo na ipinangbabayo ng pinipig, inuukit pa ang loob nun at nilalagyan ng parang bolang kahoy sa loob na habang nagbabayo, kakalog-kalog naman ang bolang ito at gumagawa na naman ng isang ritmo. Yan po ang mambayo, ang pagbabayo ng palay na may saliw ng mga awitan ng mga kalinga. Ano po ang maaari nating matutunan sa kayamanang ito ng ating lahi? Na ang bawat gawain natin ay maaaring saliwan ng musika. Lalong-lalo naman ang pagsamba natin sa Panginoon, ang ating mga paglilingkod, na sa paglalagay natin at paglalapat ng musika, hindi lang gumagaan ang ating trabaho, kundi na ipapahayag din natin ang ating damdamin. Musika ng bayan, kayamanan ng ating lahi, hiyas na dapat makilala at ingatan.
kahit na di ako karapat-dapat. Magpakailan pa man, magpawalang hanggan, pag-ibig niyo sa akin di nababago ng hangin. Kahit saan pa man, kahit na sino man, kayo'y sa aming piling, di man maabot ng damdamin. Ang pag-ibig niyo'y wagas, hindi magwawakas. Ako ay niligtas. At pag-ibig niyo'y sapat, sa akin ay tapat, kahit na di ako karapat-dapat. Tanging sa'yo aasa, lalapit ang magpupuno ng kulang sa lahat ng oras. Walang ibang papantay sa iyong pagmamahal. Ang pag-ibig niyo
pagsikat ng araw hanggang sa paglubog nito, ngalan ni Jesus papupurihan. Sambahin ka, O Diyos,
Daikon ka, Jesus.
daydayawan ka, O Apo Diyos, sa lahat ng panahon. Sambahin ka, O Diyos,
Kaluhuran ka, Jesus.
sa lahat ng dako, papupurihan ka. Sa pagsikat ng araw hanggang sa paglubog nito, ngalan ni Jesus papupurihan. Sa pagsikat ng araw hanggang sa paglubog nito, ngalan ni Jesus papupurihan. Sambahin ka, O Diyos, daikon ka, Jesus, daydayawan ka, O Apo Diyos, sa lahat ng panahon. Sambahin ka, O Diyos, kaluhuran ka, Jesus, sa lahat ng dako, papupurihan ka.
Sa pagsilay ng liwanag mula doon sa silangan, nadarama't nakikita ang sa inyong pagmamahal. Lumalandas, humahawan, tumatanglaw sa aking daan, nangunguna, gumagabay sa aking bala ng hakbang. Sa pagdatal niyang gabi na malamig at mainam, akin namang nalalasan ang inyong kapayapaan. Paliningning ng bituin at liwanag niyang buwan, ay banayad kaya dulot ay madlang kapahingahan. Sa gabi man o sa araw, sa dilim man o liwanag, kayo ay aking kapiling sa lahat ng kalagayan. Ako'y hindi natitiis, ako'y hindi iniiwan, kaya lubos na papuri ang sa inyo'y aking alay.
Sambahin ka, O Diyos, daikon ka, Jesus, daydayawan ka, O Apo Diyos, sa lahat ng panahon.
Oras na po para pansamantalang magpaalam ang programang Day by Day. Tayo po'y magsama-sama tuwing ika-6 hanggang ika-7 ng umaga, araw-araw. Magandang umaga po at mabuhay ang Panginoong Hesus!